Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. Happy Friday. Today, bittersweet. Our little pal here, it's the last time we're going to probably see him because we are finishing now the Fanhome release. Last two stages, build your own R2-D2. I don't know what it is about Star Wars builds. I do get a little bit of melancholy knowing that we're going to be finishing it. So today we're going to be putting a circuit board just into the dome section. That's why I've taken it off there. Connecting the wires up, sealing the thing up, and then hopefully I'll be able to show you the beauty shots of it all working and running around even my kitchen, the garden or the lounge. We'll have to see how it goes. If you want to get this for yourself, I have put a link down here to the Fanhome website. You can get this all the way from pack 1. If you are not aware of this build and you haven't seen it, I've actually provided the full playlist up here as well. So if you can click on that, you'll be able to see this all the way from pack 1 to see how I built this marvellous droid. But without further ado, and for the last time for this build, let's get cracking. So, in stage 99, I'm going to show you the magazine looking like this. And as you can see, there isn't actually much to do in this stage. It's stage 100, we got the big thing. As you can see, we do have now a new control board. Going to take this out the packet, check everything is okay inside that and attach some anchors to that. Then I'm going to anchor that into the inside of the dome section. I do have a ribbon cable to connect. Once that's in, the dome section is complete, and then that would be all there is to do in that stage. Now this stage comes in a box which looks like this. So I'll get this out. Now, in stage 98, we had these two brackets here, and we also had some flange 6mm screws. So I'm just going to gently prise this apart so I can actually see the working circuit board in there like that. So let me just show you this circuit board again. Now in the pictures it shows a port coming off of this section here with an aerial coming off to this. These circuit boards are different. I believe they probably were changed later on, so don't expect your circuit board to look like the picture. What we are going to do is we're going to start putting these brackets on. So holding it this way round, I'm going to take the bracket and put it underneath this section just like that, and I'm going to be screwing it in from this side with one of the flange screws. I'm then going to be doing exactly the same thing on this side. So now we have two brackets in place. This one is slightly offset. This one's at right angles, but this one's slightly offset. I'm going to bring over dome. I haven't actually got the foam section anymore. It's a bit eager to get rid of that. And these brackets here are going to be going over the points here and here. It's actually going, I say over, it's going to go underneath. So when we've got them in, I'm going to be holding that in place from the underside. It's going to be a bit fiddly. So it's going to sort of slot in like that. There. Now they're going to be held in with 2.5 by 6mm screws. So I've got that here. I'm just going to put one in just to start this off and hold it in position. I'll do the same on this side here. And then I'll get these in as tight as I possibly can. Now we don't actually need this part of it, so we can put that to one side. Now I'm going to be attaching this ribbon cable just here. So what I need to do is this black section, this is where it's going to go, just needs to be put upright like this. There's sort of like a bridge to hold that in place. Bring the ribbon cable across. As you can see on the underside of this, you've got all the contact points. So I need to make sure they're facing down. I want to make sure that this perfectly goes into here. So I'm going to use my tweezers to help me. Make sure that goes all the way in there. You should be able to slot that in. And it should be as far as you can get it. Close that down. And now that ribbon cable is in place. Now we've got another cable in here. As you can see, I'm just going to get this around so you can see it. That is this black and white cable here, the mic cable. That's going to go into the 2 ports socket we've got there. And that's the mic cable now in place. And that is all there is to do in that stage. So, this is it, the very last stage of this build. This is what we're going to have by the end of it. So, loads to do in this. We're going to be putting the mains adapter and wiring together. We do get the mains adapter in here. I do want to show you this because chances are you're going to watch this video in the future because you've lost this. And you'll be wondering, Wayne, what is the power supply of this transformer? Well, I'm telling you now, it's a 15 volt, 2 amp, 30 watt. I'm going to show you that on the close-up. So if you do lose your charger, there's all the details you need. I know that because ever since I built the first R2-D2, the amount of times I've wanted this information, wow. So once we've started labelling these leads up, we're actually going to be connecting the dome section to the main circuit board. So that's the dome section circuit board to the main body circuit board. This is going to be really fiddly and it's going to be hard to film. I'll try my best with this one. Once that's all in place, we get to actually put the R2-D2 unit together. And then as you can see, we're just doing the light bits of detail, putting the lightsaber in. So we've got our finished droid. And then put the batteries in. And then I will show you how to use the droid. Hopefully everything is working. Now we do have another pack of stuff here. Just with the details and that extra wire I was on about in here as well. We've also got a wire tidy. And the first thing I need is this extension cable. This is an extension cable for the speaker. Now I am going to use my phone for a lot of this now. If you can see that red socket down there, above it is the speaker socket, the white one. That's where we're going to plug the extension cable into. And as you see, that's now in place. So here's the cable here. I'm going to be taking it under the frame here, round here. So that extension cable is now coming out the back like this. Okay, just move R2-D2 out the way again. And we've got two very similar cables here, but this one has 10 holes in it. And this one has 12 holes in it. We want the one with 10 holes in. Now, do you remember these? We still have some left, and I'm looking for the one that says C in, which is this one just here. I'm going to cut both of these off. They both say C in. And put both of these on the cable. So one on that side and one on that side. And with the other cable here, just get this open. This is the one with 12 holes, 6 each row. That's going to have H out. It's the last one of these that we've got. And just like last time, I'm going to put these on here. So the red side of this 12-point plug, which has now got H out in it, bringing the dome over, is going into that red port just there on the green circuit board. Now look at the guides on the side so you can ensure you put that plug in the right way. And that's in. Now historically when I built the first one and I booted it up, it didn't work, and the reason for that is because I didn't have that cable in properly. So now I've been very attentive to make sure that is in correctly. Now the white plug on the label that said C in is going into this board just here. Again, make sure you have it in the right way. There's only one plug it can go into. That's just going into the top like that. And the instructions are a bit out of whack here because they don't actually tell you to do this. But what we want to do is we want to batch these cables together using this plastic again. So these will eventually be pinned to this point here. So I think what I'm going to do is pin these into position now using a cable tie. Can't find a cable tie that comes with this one, so I am using my own one. Now this will stop the cables being pulled. So I'm just putting them flat together on here. Put the cable tie on, and obviously I don't want to touch that ribbon cable. And that's in place, and then I'm going to wrap this cable around it. Again, you want to take your time on this. Savour the build now, because, you know, it's almost finished. And there we go, that cable's in. Now we have two spindles on this build. We had the one when we were building the dome, and we stored this on this spindle here. Then in, I believe it was issue 96, we had a shorter one, looking like this. It's the shorter one that we want. All I'm going to do is put that through the centre spindle there, making sure it engages at the other side. So there we go, that's the spindle in place. If you want to ensure that's definitely engaged, my one here has approximately almost 6 centimetres coming out of this section here. Now we have this section here, which we're going to be putting into the dome. So showing you the dome here, this is just going to go into this point. You do want to make sure it engages in the motor so it slots down just like that. It's then just a case of putting the dome into that spindle. Making sure the wires are on the inside there. Letting it fall. And there we go. That's the dome in place. You heard it lock in as I turned it there. And do you remember we put that speaker cable in that port there? Well, above it we've got a white port with 12 sockets. That's where the H out white plug is going to go. Now that red plug that we've got left, which says CN in, is going into the red socket just below that speaker cable we put in at the first stage. And as you can see, both of those cables are now in, the red one and the white one. And I'm not going to lie to you, if you've got big hands, that's going to be a bit of a nightmare for you to do. Now, because it doesn't want those cables getting damaged, I'm just going to cable tie this cable to this frame here. So as you can see, I've cable tied that, but I've made sure there's excess cable at the top so that when the dome turns, it's not going to get jammed up on that cable. Now I want to take the back section of R2, which has got the speaker on it, and where we pass that speaker cable out the back, I'm now going to join these two cables together. Just like that. And now I'm going to put the back section onto the main R2 unit. That's the back on. I'm going to do the same with the front. And that's the front on as well. I'm just turning this around on the side camera there. Now to put this into place, we're going to be screwing it in onto the points that you can see at the side here. So we've got 2 holes here and 2 holes above it, and we've got the same on the other side. They're going to be held in by these 2.5 by 6mm screws. Now they do provide lots of these plugs here. I've got some left over from other packs as well here. Look, I've got loads of these. I'm not going to put these in yet until I can confirm R2's actually working. I have got a little sticker here to go into the control panel though, or into the tool drawer. This is just going to be the instructions of what operates each button. And as you can see, that's in the door just there. Aside from putting the plugs in and the batteries, which I'm about to do, the only other thing to do is in the lightsaber tube, put the lightsaber. That should drop all the way down and close the lid. Now, do you remember we had this little blue screwdriver? I'm going to use that now just to unscrew the screws here so I can get the battery box out. So that's the battery cover off, and we're going to be putting 6 of these 18650, which we fully charged previously, into position. Just make sure you get the polarity right so that this side is not going towards a spring. Also make sure your R2-D2 unit is powered off. And then seal up the battery cover again. Once that's done, we can just post this battery box back into the R2 unit. Like that. And then using the blue screwdriver, just seal this back up again. Now this next section is really important. We need to prime the batteries. Now I have plugged in the adapter here. And what I'm going to do is put that in the charging port, leave it for about a second or two, and then take it out. Now R2 does charge from the front here, so 1 and 2. Done. That's should be charged or primed. So theoretically now, I should be able to power R2 on and he should work. Now what should happen? Don't know. Hopefully it's going to work. I'm going to turn the R2 switch on, press this bottom button. He should lurch forward just for a second. His head should turn one way, spin back, and then you should play an audible whistle. Let's see if that works. Promising. Oh, he is struggling a little bit there. Don't know why he's struggling there. Oh, there we go. And then it's coming back. I think there might have been a trap wire then. That's perfect. That was a success. Oh my God, that's a success. So I will show you how to use the app in a minute, but let's have a look at these ports here. If I open this drawer here, it tells us what each one does. Now, I don't want to press the top one because he's going to try and wander around and go on my work surface, which we won't do. But let's do the... mine are in a completely different language. That's typical. My I can't believe that. My little instructions are in Polish, I think. They're not in English. So let's do this. Okay, so we know that one's the on-off button. I do have a purple light here. It looks white. It's actually a purple light. So the next button up is the switch between direct mode and local Wi-Fi mode. I'll explain that when we connect R2-D2 up. And the next one, 4, is pair mode. So we don't use these two. These are actually just for connecting R2-D2 to the app. Okay, so the third one down should be the lightsaber. So there's the lightsaber at the side. Let's see if that works. Haha! Did you see that come out? And then back in. Out. And in. This is one of the first times that everything's gone right. Okay, the second one, the second button here, is the arms. So these should now operate when I press this. That's perfect. And if I press the first one, he's going to try and go for a wander. So what I'm going to do is press it, make sure he moves, and then quickly turn him off. Okay? There you go. That's a perfect test. I can't believe that. It's gone right first time. I'm a happy man. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to connect it to the app and show you what it looks like. So first thing I'm going to do is turn R2-D2 on. He's going to go through the startup procedure again. See, the dome's moving a lot better that time. All good. As you can see on the app, it's this top app here that I'm going to be interested in. Looking like that. Wait for him to whistle. All good. Okay. First of all, we need to link the R2 up. So I'm going to link it with what they call direct mode. So what that is, it means the phone is actually just going to be linked direct to the R2 unit. Now, in the instructions, it does tell you how to do that. If you just click on the little circles in the top right there, and it's got direct mode and local Wi-Fi mode, and it'll tell you exactly how to do this. So if you just click through the things, it says, oh, R2's going to be doing his own thing. He does react to voice, just so you know. Now, to make sure he's in direct mode, if I just turn R2 around, the light on the back should be yellow. To change that, if you press the second button up from the bottom, it flashes and it's turned green. But we want the flashing yellow just there. Turn him back. You now want to connect your phone to the R2-D2 router. It's going to come up as one of the settings. So, I'm just going to go to my Wi-Fi settings here. Do you like the name of my internet there? Connecto Patronum? It should find R2-D2. 1 second. As you see, R2-D2 router. And that's what I want. I'm going to click on that so I connect to that. It's asking for a password. Click on that. The password is 8 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. When I click join, make sure we're connected to that R2-D2 router. Just waiting for that to come up. Connected. There you go. We're connected. Go back to the app. And then I'm going to click connect. And it should whistle. And there you go. We have now got full control with the app of the R2-D2. So now when it connects, it should look like this. You will notice that these LEDs here aren't on. Now that's the short LED. That's this option here. If I click that on, as you can see, they can come on. Now I can move the head by pressing this in the top left and right. As you can see. What I'm going to do is just turn it behind so you can see that long LED. And if I click that one, as you can see, that one comes on as well. So that's good. Turn the head back. And that's good. Now, I can make him go forward and backwards using the bottom control. So backwards, forwards, left, right. If I want his arms to come out, I can click that. Arms come out, arms shot. I can click on talk. And I've got lots of options in talk. I don't know if you can hear these. Abrupt trill. There's loads. And they scroll down, this list does. See? Loads and loads of things. Having an enormous amount of fun here. I really don't know if you can hear this. Unconvinced grumbling. I like that. Okay, so that's that one. Again, I can operate the lightsaber, which comes out there and back in. Anything where dance and move around, I don't want to do it on here because I don't want him to jump off the surface here. Now, I can play the hologram. Not quite sure how I can demonstrate this. I'll probably put it on my hand so you can see. Let me turn the lights out. Play hologram. And it's asking me hologram 1 or 2. Let's go hologram 1. And hard to show you. Let me try that again. I'm going to play that hologram again. And as you can see, help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope. And then if we play the other hologram, hologram 2.
As a token of my goodwill, I present to you a gift. These 2 droids. Both are hard-working and will serve you well.
Let's turn the lights back on. I'm so happy everything works. I'm just looking down the list. Is there anything I haven't shown you at the moment? I can get him to shake his head. And then the only other thing I don't think I've showed you is you have got a video camera on R2 here. So if I click on video control, theoretically, as you can see, he's looking at me. So everywhere he turns, he can actually see me, which is pretty cool. Now I've kept the protection on here. I've just noticed that on this lens. So I'm going to take that protection off. Now I can't actually connect to my local Wi-Fi because the protection on my Wi-Fi, unfortunately. But what you do is you basically go into the local Wi-Fi button. Make sure that your green button is flashing at the back there. Click on pair mode here. It's going to try and go for a wander. I don't want it to go for a wander, so I'm going to keep my hand there. And then what you do is you'll click on press to connect a droid for the first time. Skip tutorial, and then it will come up with that. It will connect to your Wi-Fi, and it will give you a QR code. When you've got that QR code, you're going to hold it in front of R2-D2's camera like this, and it's going to store all of your Wi-Fi settings. But because of the protections on my system, which I'm not going to change, to be honest with you, I'm not going to do that. But I have got the direct mode activated, so you can go directly for that. But what I think I'm going to do is take him in the garden, have a little play with him. Now I've put him on patrol mode, just so you can see him moving around there. He shouldn't bump into anything, because if he does, you'll see in a second, that little clicker at the front here, let me press it, we'll see, we'll make him change direction. But there you go, he does need a battery charge now, unfortunately. But that is what the R2-D2 looks like. And that is the end of that build. And I really wish my first build had gone that easy, because that was working perfectly first time. So I'm really happy about that. Now, if you are having problems and you're getting some warning lights here, then on the back of the magazine, it does give you a little fault finding thing to go online and just check what your lights mean. Just so you know as well, when you actually charge it, if it's on, you will get a flashing light while it's charging. When it's off though, if I was to charge this now, unfortunately, it doesn't tell you anything, so you don't know it's charging, but believe me, it is charging. So that is the finished R2 model, and I am going to enjoy playing with my one, because this one is going to part work upgrades Ian Campbell. So Ian is ready to pick up now. A lot of people do like to weather this up as well, but as you can see from my one, just sitting over the back there is weathering itself. If you want to get this for yourself, I have put a link in the video description. You can get this all the way from pack 1, but I really hope you like that series of videos. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.